We did it.
We are here with you on the solstice.
Oh, is that what today is?
Today is solstice, yes. I love this day.
I don't keep track.
I always do because, and hey, it's ancestral, right?
Is it? Yeah, of course it is.
I guess it is. But I always have because we live here in the northern part of the United States. So today's the longest day of the year, which I love. And I loved as a kid because I always had to be home by dark.
Oh.
Yeah. And then, of course, I would look for the shortest day of the year in December and did not like that day as well. But it means you've turned the corner.
Yeah, that's true.
So there's a good positive spin for that.
Well, as on the solstice, we're gonna live stream till dark.
No, oh my God,
no, we're not. My voice is already giving out, and we haven't even started yet. But JJ, these poor people have a terrible problem.
What is their problem?
They have run out of carnivore content on YouTube. They've seen every Dr. Berry video. They've watched all the Homestead How. They know Bella's content back and forth. They've seen the latest Baker and Chafee and Kilts.
Yeah.
They need us to deliver quick.
Here we are.
And we are here for you to ease the pain of lacking carnivore entertainment.
At least until Bella has her Friday live stream later tonight.
That's true. Yeah, it comes on when we're done. I see that Jody is in the house already.
Hello, Jody.
And Curtis and Keisha. Jody says, gotta watch Dr. Kilt's interview with Dr. Boz. Ordered her book any way you can. Her story with her 7. Yeah, that story is amazing. She was outcast for not following the rules. And you're making ghee. Isn't that just browning butter and...
Well, removing the milk solids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did that one time for a recipe of some sort I was following out of Betty Crocker. And it was really, it seemed to me tedious.
Yeah, I saw the preview for that interview, but I've not seen the interview yet. But I am a big Dr. Boz fan. I feel like we've met a lot of the doctors and, well, some of the doctors, not a lot, some of the good doctors. And I feel like she's one that I might kind of like get a little tongue-tied with. I don't know.
Yeah?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Her talk at Meatstock, which we didn't see.
No.
Because it was part of the retreat and not the general, but it's on YouTube. It's on YouTube. She released it this week.
Yeah.
It was very good.
Very good. Very good.
I don't know what just happened with my microphone. It was like a little earthquake. Hello, Curtis. It's good to see you.
Did you feel the earthquake in Michigan?
Keisha just plopped down on my cozy couch after a long work day. Plate of eggs and hot dogs. Perfect time. Put to you all on the big screen TV and watch. Well, hello and enjoy. I don't know that I've done eggs and hot dogs together.
I haven't, but I'm kind of intrigued. Why not?
Curtis says this is the best thing on YouTube at the moment. Well, I'll take it.
We'll take it.
Yep. Charlie's here. Just got back from Disneyland without eating any of the goofy foods. Well, congratulate. That deserves... Because there is temptation around every corner there.
The first time we went to Disney, our daughter was 4. I think you had a conference in the Orlando area, so we went to Disney World. And we bought the food package.
That was a mistake.
Having no idea what that meant. And at that time, the massive quantities of food. Oh my gosh.
Oh. Every meal in that plan came with a dessert, and our daughter was a little kid, and so she'd be like, I don't even want another dessert right now, and so I'd like 2 chocolate shakes. I'd be double fisting, and then later I'd be like, I don't know why I don't feel very good.
We knew that. I mean, that was it was insanity. But yeah, excellent. Good for you, Charlie. And I feel like I would not. Oh, wait, we went not that long ago. I can't remember exactly when. And we ate at that German place, the German buffet.
Oh, that was at Epcot.
Yeah, at Epcot.
Yeah.
And I was able to eat meat there.
I don't remember what I ate. Curtis is asking, have you guys watched the Animal movie yet? Well, we have not, but we were going to talk about it, so might as well talk about it now. It's available on Apple and Amazon for, I think, $4.99 to rent. But we're definitely going to watch it soon because quite interested.
Probably this weekend.
Yeah, one of those guys was there at Meatstock talking about it. So,
Mm-hmm.
And we've seen the trailer.
Yes, of course.
With Dr. Chafee. So that's exciting. Cheaper than buying on the ghee. Yeah, I suppose that's true.
Yeah. I had to do ghee for a while in my healing protocol when I came off gluten years and years ago. I could not have dairy for a while.
Hello, Natalie. It's good to see you. Thank you for joining us again. And Melanie, wow. The first time I've been able to join you live.
Hey.
Just came together today. Well, great. We're delighted to have you. I actually think you might be scheduled to already appear as a screenshotted comment from one of our previous videos. If we get to that. But
well, we're a few minutes in, but I will extend a warm welcome to you all. I think most of you here in the chat anyway know I'm JJ. I am a life coach and I eat mostly meat.
I'm Eric. I'm a novelist and I eat meat and microbes.
Yes.
And
yes.
they're delicious. I have been on such a roll with my carnivore lifestyle. I have hit a new stride, figuratively and literally.
Oh, yeah.
And I am just feeling so good. My energy is up. Can you attest to this?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes.
My mood is pretty good.
Yes, very much.
Notwithstanding some, external stresses that come up.
But your resilience during those stresses was like nothing I've seen from you before.
Yeah. When we get into that a little bit. But, for the year and a half we've been doing this channel, we talk about JJ Zen. I don't think I have carnivore Zen, but just her energy and, she's just always in motion and stuff. And I feel like I've notched up a couple of pegs a little bit closer to where she's at, although I did have to take a nap this afternoon. But that was because yesterday and the day before, I tried to destroy myself with exercise. And it does catch up to you.
Yes.
Oh, wow. I passed on to Elizabeth Bright that her books had been important to JJ.
Oh,
she was really happy to hear that.
Thank you.
Elizabeth has heard your name.
Yes, I'm looking forward to seeing her at Meatstock next year. I don't know if our paths will cross before then.
Charlie says, I'm planning on doing a Dr. Baker style carnivore sugar diet challenge by significantly upping my fats and lowering my proteins to see what happens. I didn't see that video, but you did.
Yes, I did. Yeah, he's got a bit of well, you have to know the Nick Norowitz video first, where he talks about that the apparent reason the sugar diet works, at least short term, is that it is a low protein diet. So it's not about the carbs. It's about the almost very little, minimal protein. And so Nick Norowitz posited that you could do it with basically a fat fast type of thing. And that's what Dr. Baker did for 3 days. And I'm not going to give you I was about to give you the punchline. I'm not going to. You can watch his video. But yes, he did certainly see some results from that, and said that he would not want to lower protein for too long, because certainly, especially for him, that does not work toward his goals of muscle mass and athleticism.
I was scrolling X in preparation for tonight, and Dr. Baker frequently posts videos of his workouts. And he had a video of him at the track doing sprints. and the camera was low and at the finish line, so you see him coming at you at full speed. I was glad I was watching on a little screen because I think it might have been terrifying. But that man can really move his 200 and whatever pounds at great velocity at age 50, what, 6, 7, something like that? No, something in that zone.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Well, I'll be interested to hear what happens with you, Charlie. So keep us posted on that.
Jody says making El Ruderai kefir with goat's milk with starter from Amazon. I think I heard you guys say you've done this. Yeah, we make we think of it as a yogurt because we use half and half, and it comes out kind of that texture.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, last week live we talked about it quite a bit, and I've had a little dose of it every single day.
I feel like for me, this is my summer N of 1 especially. I'm really packing in the cultured dairy with those certain very specific probiotics just to see if it can help some lingering blood markers that I have. We'll see. And it is kind of delicious, which is why I portion it out. I'm very careful to just do my dose each day and not sit there with the whole jar scooping it in.
I didn't know what to expect when we made that.
No.
Because I've never liked yogurt. But I'm in a kind of new phase where liking something has very little to do with whether I should do it or not. Mm-hmm. But I've really developed a taste for it, and I really love the texture. But I don't really feel like I have much risk of overeating it. I have it, and then I'm like, yeah, that was good because it's not ice cream. It does not compel me to want to eat more of it. But I have had no issue. My weight, no weight gain, no inflammation that I've detected.
Nope.
I don't know that I've had any relief from anything, but maybe it's the relief. It's part of the cause of my greater energy.
Yeah, it's really hard. It's hard to tell. I would say too. I'm seeing my HRVs beginning to trend up a little bit with some bumps in the road. So maybe. Yeah. But all those things are going to take a while. I don't expect. I told Eric, let's say I'm at an 8 out of 10, right? Some days I'm at a 10, but generally speaking, I'm at an 8. And for me to bump up to a 9 would probably take a while because Carnivore has gotten me to the 8. And
exactly.
And it's such an incremental difference.
It's like E equals MC squared. It's like the closer you get to the speed of light, the more mass conversion you need. So it gets harder and harder and harder.
Yeah.
That probably didn't communicate it well as a metaphor, but to me it made sense. Yeah. Darth watched Animal, fell asleep. Oh, still tired from Disney. Well, that's an excuse I will tolerate. I did find this link will take you to the Amazon or Apple directly to the listing. Excellent. Although I did search for it on Amazon and couldn't find it. And so that's how I had to find it. So yes, they have it for $4.99 and $9.99. Natalie, my El Ruderai with half and half has been great.
Oh,
first batch even turned out perfect. Well, congratulations with that, because ours did not.
No, but I have to say, I've said it before, you are the man of efficiency. And so you got a process down for making that. It does not involve boiling everything every time, I can tell you that. And I've sort of taken over the duties the last couple weeks, and it's fast and easy, and we've had really good results.
Yeah, once you have a batch to start with, a child could do it, which means that's why I could do it. I just asked Chat GPT 3 days ago where I could find the documentary. She didn't tell me Apple or Amazon, so I'm glad to know that now. She probably didn't want you watching it. She probably thinks you need your fiber. Hope it works with goat's milk. It should.
It should. Yeah. The first batch we made that worked, because our very first batch broke, so it was probably second batch. We didn't have half and half. We used some milk and some heavy cream together, and it was a little runnier, but that was fine.
Yeah. All right. We had this comment. Was this from Melanie? It was, yes. Here's the one. And it was about Elizabeth Bright. It's surprising that not many people saw the chainsaw video. I agree. That video is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And it is one of our worst performers of all time. It was great. Glad you brought up Elizabeth Bright. I'm familiar with her work, and apparently you've just talked to her. She's an expert on hormones, thyroid, and the adrenals. Many of the things that get healed on Carnivore.
Yep.
She's a proponent of high-fat she's like this: eat a stick of butter's worth of fat every day. Are related to healing the thyroid, adrenals, hormones.
But I want to state, when you're in the healing mode is when she really is a proponent of that.
I'm sorry I cut off the rest of your comment here, but she's going to be here for a conference. So
nice.
Yeah.
Speaking of, well, this isn't a conference, but I'm curious if anyone here is going to Steak and Butter Gang's Montana meetup. I'm curious.
When is that?
It's July 4th.
Oh.
And so Todd is a fireworks guy. Todd Bachnes is a fireworks guy.
Okay.
So it is going to be phenomenal.
A big show.
Phenomenal, I'm sure. We are not going. We have some other travel plans in July, and our daughter we have some goofy little 4th of July traditions. They might shift a little this year. I don't know. But she's a junior in college. So I just don't know if she'll be here next year.
Yeah.
And so I want to have our goofy little traditions while I can.
Agreed.
Yeah. But someday I would love to go to that fireworks show. Holy cow.
This was in response to our Tuesday video. Can Carnivore heal my chronic condition? Was that our Tuesday, or was that
No.
That was our last live stream. Agree with the statement. And basically what JJ had said was, if it's good for all of the other organs of the body, why would Carnivore be bad for the heart? If Carnivore is great for so many body systems, not logical for it to be inherently bad for another. Ancestors would not have survived. The apparent bad effect needs more investigation. And it is true. If it is true, what is the alternative, right? What are you going to do?
Yeah.
So every time this whole carnivore is bad for your heart or bad for your kidneys things, it just doesn't add up. Because why would one organ be so susceptible to the diet when all the others are so happy on it?
Yeah. I have a family member who said that they're praying for me and praying that we're making the right dietary choices.
Oh.
And I just was like, oh, I wish she could experience.
Did you suggest she look at you?
Well, yeah, I just wish that she could experience what I feel like. Like,
Yeah.
It's just, yeah. As you all know, it's unbelievable, the transformation that can happen. What are you doing?
I am looking at this.
He is looking at that.
Okay. Curtis says, I don't even know how to spell Montana. That was a terrible dad joke. I approve. Jody says, I live in Montana, but I have 4 dogs, 11 chickens, so can't get away 5 hours away. Yeah, well,
No.
That's a lot of dogs, and you don't want them around all those chickens unsupervised. Oh, boy. Natalie says, are you praying for your family member to make the right choices too?
Yes.
So the video we did last Tuesday
Yes.
was, so you eat mostly meat? And this was a video about, it was something about how we talk to our family, friends, and doctor about carnivore.
Mm-hmm.
And really good, really amazing content. I talked a lot.
That's how you know it's good.
kind of punchy tonight. But yeah, it was a really good one. So if you haven't seen it, check it out. It's like this, but not live.
Yeah, that one doesn't have a lot of B-roll with us in slow motion.
There was no chainsaw.
No chainsaw.
There was no cooking a roast.
No, but I think we've mentioned I've been killing it on my big green egg with our nightly steaks, our nightly strips.
You've got it down to a really tight process at it, and it turns out great every time.
I'm almost feeling like I could serve that to other people. My consistency was not as good a little earlier in the season or ever, and so I wouldn't have felt confident. But now I'm starting to feel like I could actually, like if Jenny Middich and her husband ever come, we could maybe have some strip steaks.
That would be great. So I mentioned at the top that I'm really hitting a new stride, literally and figuratively. And the literally is I've really gotten back into my sprint sessions. And it is difficult because when you run as fast as you can't run any faster than that. And that means that you're using every fiber and all of the energy you've got. And I changed the distance of the sprint. So early on, it was a little bit shorter. So even though I was going super fast, the duration wasn't as long, and I was able to get some reps in without injury. But then I get cocky as soon as I complete that workout. I want to do more reps, or I want to do longer. But yesterday, I needed to work off some nervous energy. So I did a much longer one, slightly uphill, and I did 5 reps. And usually I wait for heart rate recovery down into the 120s or something before I do another. Not yesterday. And today I'm feeling it.
Yes.
Plus I had done a resistance workout the day before, and I'm still sore for that. So there is definitely truth to the fact that when you get back into exercise, it's not just muscles, it's not just heart, it's not just the lungs, it's not even just the capillaries development that is needed to get blood to the tissues, but the central nervous system has to make adaptations. And it just doesn't do it immediately. And I felt this morning like my central nervous system had been hooked up to a car battery. And given a little bit of a shot pretty much all night while I didn't sleep very well.
Yeah.
So I'm taking today as a very calm recovery day, putting in lots of protein, lots of fat, and healing for tomorrow when I get back at it. Not a sprint, probably to do a little weight sesh, but it's feeling good.
Yeah.
I didn't appreciate how much of the sort of I have a constant sort of vibrating level of nervous energy, but it doesn't translate into mental energy or high motivation.
And it's internal. Like, he's not a jittery guy. Like,
no, it's not like I'm shaking.
You don't see his leg going or anything, but it's all happening inside.
And I'm so used to it that when it lessens, I'm like,
yeah.
And then I fall asleep. And it's just so constant. It's actually kind of hilarious. But the very hard intensity exercise is the only thing that reliably takes that up and drops me to that calm state. And I was like, well, why haven't I been doing this for the past 20 years? So,
well, we know why.
Well, the reason is that being in that state, when my heart rate goes way up, it makes me more nervous.
Yeah. The health anxiety has been the issue. It's
a little bit of a trap, but my new attitude is eat the yogurt even though you don't like it, and run when you're not ready. And it works.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
It's been great.
Eric, you got to do a Dr. Baker style sprinting video. I have, with the exception of yesterday, I have recorded every sprint session. I've videoed it with the idea that at some point in the future, I would do a sprint video for the channel. It will be Dr. Baker style only to the extent that I am running in it.
And you are male.
But
You are
His
male,
form
right?
is, his knees are much higher. I've been having to work on getting my knees out. All right, we just probably lost half of the people. Are like, I don't want to sprint and I don't want to hear about it. Okay, Costco had lamb chops $4 off. That's not enough.
For you, no.
I was running around putting items back on the shelf so I could stock. Well, if you like them, then you should definitely do that. But yeah, I think that they should pay me $4 to take any of them. We're gonna have to try it again, though. We'll put some of our yogurt on
We'll
it.
have to try some of it. Like, we'll have to try it again.
I'm dropping the last of the plants except for coffee.
Ah.
Well, we're going the opposite direction in a way. It's like we've dropped the salads, but because we've added sauerkraut, we've added cabbage.
Yeah.
Fermented, though.
Yeah.
And I've added some kimchi with my steak.
I'm scared of the kimchi.
As an experiment, and I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It's been a nice little pop of sparkle.
Yeah.
Pop of sparkle. So she mentions, except for coffee, and we had this question come up. What is the one food you'll never give up, even if it's not carnivore?
And what would you say?
Coffee.
Coffee.
I don't know if it's a food or not, but that's,
Yeah.
and I don't know, maybe someday I will.
This one's a little harder for me, but our wild black raspberry season is right around the corner, and
Yeah.
I think that's probably the one.
But you were talking about fermenting it.
I'm going to try that. Yeah. We have a lot.
See, I have a new rule. If you ferment it, it's carnivore because it's all microbes at that point, right? The plant is only a fibrous conveyance upon which the meal lives.
Let me just say, though, okay, so we're at Meat Stock. We hear Sally Norton all about oxalates. I go, oh, oxalates. Oh, like it finally got through to me. And I realized I was having some symptoms when we would go Ketovore and have our almost Kilt's ice cream, except it had cocoa in it, and it was making me ill. So I also then dug deep into oxalates, found out that the raspberries have a lot of oxalates because of the seeds. So fermenting might help with that, supposedly. But also, for the last 2 years, I have been looking for a jam recipe that used beef gelatin. And Chris Cooking Nashville came through just in the nick of time. He released a video this week about making jam with beef gelatin. And of course, you strain the seeds out for that. So I think I could also do some, he didn't show canning it, but I think I could freeze it so we could have it, so I could have it a little bit throughout the year. Now, let me say, it's still quite seasonal for me. It's not like I'm going to be pulling that out all the time because I still don't think that's ideal.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I really love it. I really love it.
I think where you're at, it's not a huge risk.
No, I don't think so either,
and they're not that sweet.
No. Oh, no, they're not going to throw me. No, they're not going to throw me into I don't think I'd be foraging after those in the kitchen cabinets.
Jody says, I ate 5 little strawberries out of my garden this morning.
Yep.
No guilt.
Yep. Those are coming too. They're red, but they're not quite ripe yet.
The wild strawberries are everywhere.
Yeah, but those I can't even get enough to do any jam with. It's just not enough. But I will be eating them probably in this upcoming week.
Target prime rib here.
Hey.
Welcome. That's not something that we make very often, prime rib.
No.
That's like a Sunday buffet. Go to the prime rib station.
Yeah. Oh, here we go, Melanie. Maybe, yes. She says jam using beef gelatin. Yes. Now there's a thought, but I have to be low oxalate, maybe with blueberries. Yep. And he actually shows the recipe with blueberries too. So yeah, definitely a good option. Again, in moderation. Or not even moderation, sparingly, seasonally. So yeah, that would be my food that I don't think I can give up. Interestingly though, I like chocolate a lot my whole life. I've said before I was raised on Nestle's Quick because I didn't like white milk, so, chocolate milk. And since that meat stock, chocolate has not even been tempting to me. Like I haven't even thought about chocolate very much because I just don't want to feel. It was like when I had to give up wheat. And it was like, it is dead to me. It's kind of, not that I won't ever possibly have it again, but it's kind of dead to me right now.
Yeah. I've, having been, I don't know, last time I had, aside from whatever's in the kimchi.
Oh yeah.
That's not a sweet. I've had nothing sweet. An element. I had a chocolate element.
Yes.
So I did have that.
Yeah.
But I have zero cravings. No interest. I love what I'm eating right now, which is about time. I've loved the results of what I've been eating, but now I actually really like what I'm eating.
Yeah.
And I get hungry, and when I'm ready, and steak goes down. And maybe it helps that you're making it the way you're making it. But even my morning steak that I make in the air fryer and then finish by searing it, I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even use the thermometer in it anymore.
No, I feel like we both have been in a good stride, really since meat stock, especially.
Yeah.
We were looking to meat stock to connect with others and hopefully get some inspiration, especially for this channel. And I did not realize how much it was going to recommit us even more strongly to this way of eating. And we were committed before, but we were eating out more.
Mm-hmm.
Have we eaten out since we've been back?
You have with your lunch.
Yes, I go with my friend, but
I haven't.
No, we have been tight.
I made the mistake of pouring the water from the kimchi in my sardines today. I thought, oh, that'll add a little spicy sauce to it. No, it just made the sardines wet.
They smelled bad.
And I had 2 tins of sardines in my bowl with some salt and a little kimchi juice. And it was one of those things where it's like the sprint. You just do it. I don't recommend that recipe. But salt, a little sauerkraut, and some crumbled up pork rinds make an interesting sardine dish. Is it good? Depends on how hungry you are. It's great if you're starving. Hey. No, wait a minute. Yeah. Husband makes amazing prime rib roast. It takes days for the problem. Days? It must be cooked low and slow.
Or it's
brined.
Who knows? Maybe some dry aging in the fridge. I don't know.
We need some tips. Chans is here.
Hey, Chans.
We're happy to see you here. Yeah.
We are thrilled to have you.
And Curtis is like, okay, now it's time to settle down and relax. Yeah. So you mentioned to me that you're not really in a putting butter on steak mode.
This is interesting, especially with all the talk about Dr. Bright. I did a sort of a higher fat priming in April as a part of, I was noticing that my adrenals, my recovery was a little low. And since I do have a history with some adrenal issues and the whole hormonal cascade, I did the Dr. Bright protocol and also did 3 meals a day, like steak and butter gang. And that was April. It is now June. And I'm noticing that I'm just not wanting as much fat. So I for the first time since I think I've started carnivore, I'm not putting butter on my steaks. Now I'm still eating all the fat on the steak and everything, but I just haven't really had a lot of added fat. I think in the last couple of weeks I've had maybe my butter snacks, which is usually like cheese and butter or salami and butter, twice. Yeah, just not been craving as much fat. So I'm just going with it. I'm listening to my body, and I know that the time will probably come where it will be time to add more fat. But I've been doing well.
And since I've given up the high fat, 80% of calories from fat, I'm doing way better.
Yes.
I think there was that doctor panel that Barry hosted with Baker, Chafee, and Kiltz.
Mm-hmm.
And Dr. Baker was like, I'm more 65, 35. And I was like, that's where I'm at. That's where my body feels best.
Yeah. And women tend to need more fat in general for our hormones. Yet I am also postmenopausal. So I'm just letting my body lead, like I said. And the reason I went on, that's the other thing, is it was a no-brainer because I was starting to have some hot flashes. And I was like, oh, I'm poor recovery. I'm having some hot flashes. I need some hormonal support. And it comes in the form of butter.
Huh.
And that's what I did in April. Yeah.
I add butter to nothing.
No.
I used to, and I never get the butter thing out. I've got to check in the... Okay, here's the answer. He dry ages it for 3 days, then sears the outside, then sous vides it for 24 hours, and finally oven sears it again to finish. It doesn't sound hard, but it sounds like there's too many steps.
For you.
Yeah.
I can track it.
But you gotta... The problem with... I would love to eat this. The problem is you have to maintain interest in the project across sleeping. It's not one of my skills.
No, but I mean, it depends. Like, you did all of the planning for that chainsaw video and all of the editing, and you were in it for a good week or so, week or 10 days.
I had my focus.
Yeah.
I had a vision.
Yes.
Or what's that song from Tangled? I've Got a Dream.
Oh,
that all the Vikings sing in that duckling bar.
Yep.
I had a dream. And it ended up being only mine. I joke. Here's one for you, Jay.
I wanted to try maybe 5 bites of Longhorn salad this weekend, which I don't normally do. What should I look for after those bites? To see if it affects me negatively. Gas, puffiness, weight gain, I would say, are the big ones. Do you have any that you can think of?
For the dangers of, to tell if a salad, for me, it would be indigestion or some gut issue.
Yeah.
That would,
yeah.
And that would probably be from some dressing that was on it.
Yeah. But yeah, that is what I would say. Also, I tend to have, when I have had salads, they tend to be romaine or iceberg, so they're very low toxicity in terms of greens. But if you're having mixed greens or something, look for joint achiness as well.
Now I want that prime rib. It's infected my mind. I'm picturing, remember like the old cartoons where the the cartoon character would be starving, and then the other characters would turn into turkeys.
Oh yeah.
And they'd chase them around, or they'd be asleep and they'd smell something cooking and they'd float in their sleep toward it. Now I want that, JJ. Where can you get one of those roasts? Can you just go to any grocery store?
Well, we have some in the freezer.
Oh, well. All right. But the problem is we use the sous vide all the time to make fermented dairy. Carnivore Chan says, sounds like being in deep ketosis, cravings go away.
Yeah.
It's funny how that works.
It has seemed like you have been, again, I don't think you've Or maybe you have checked your ketones.
Well, I check occasionally, but I check in the morning when
Oh.
ketones are always low and blood sugar is always high due to dawn effect.
Yeah. But it does seem like you have been in ketosis, and I've never, more recently, and I've never, even when you did keto back in the day, I don't remember you having the mood and energy boost.
I never got any mood or energy boost from keto. I just lost weight.
So, that's a good one. Speaking of your sprinting.
Yeah.
What non-food change has helped your carnivore results the most? So this doesn't include fasting, does it?
Well, fasting, you don't eat food.
You don't eat food, but it's sort of food adjacent.
Yeah. So you're not going to count fasting as...
Well, that's what I was asking. Should
I would count it because fasting is the opposite of food.
All right. So for me, it would be fasting. For me, it would be fasting. I actually haven't been fasting in the last few months. I mean, I still get a bit of an intermittent fast, like 14 hours. But I haven't, because I've been working on this sort of hormonal recovery resilience thing. It's sort of Dr. Bright says, don't fast. And so I haven't really been fasting. Plus, stacking this yogurt and adding it into my day has sort of shifted my eating patterns as well. But that is definitely my favorite thing. And I started that before carnivore. But when I fast, I definitely see even more results. And for me, it's about a 42-hour fast that I usually do. I'll be back fasting. I'll be back. How about you?
I realized that mine was about food because it was stopping dairy and artificial sweeteners, especially diet sodas. There's something about those that just, they interfere with the process. But if I don't count those, I would have to say adjusting the eating window.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a kind of a food thing, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, this is the answer. Jody has said it. Working on sleep habits.
Yes.
And that's related to my eating window because if I stop eating early enough, I sleep way better.
Way better. Yeah.
And then that certainly helps the whole thing.
But we've also been trying to go out at sunset and
getting our eyes full of beauty and
do
sunset.
some things like that as well. Interestingly, it's interesting to me. I've also been cold plunging more recently. Maybe since meat stock again. That might have been one of the things since then. And I have to be careful because too much when I'm not in the recovered state is not good for the markers that I'm working on. So I have to wait till the right time. And then, man, it boosts my markers so nicely.
I stopped doing it because Dr. Davis had a video that said it can cause your heart to stop.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie went outside of Disney to eat at a barbecue.
Oh.
Couldn't decide between a 14-ounce ribeye, pound of brisket, or beef ribs, so I ordered all three for myself. While my wife had a chicken salad. 3 meals, 1 sitting.
That's kind of like our Disney meal plan. Back in the day.
Oh, man.
No, that sounds perfect. So that's... Mm-hmm.
So here's a question about eating before or after a workout. And I never cared. I never thought about it. And the whole idea of working out fasted just sounded like, why am I making this even harder? But when it comes to high intensity, I do not want anything in my stomach. That's not a recipe for happiness or good performance. So I am firmly on the exercise fasted side of that argument. I don't think you probably care.
Well, I'm again, it's so interesting because I started the year with a really good streak of resistance training. So yeah, I do it. I'm in fits and starts. And in the last couple of years, though, I've always tried to do it fasted. In the last 3 years, I try to do my exercise when fasted, except sometimes it's like I go for a bike ride or something and it just happens to be later in the day.
So here's one question. How long did it take before you felt the switch?
Oh.
2.5 years.
There you go. I was already feeling, I just felt like it amped up. I thought I was doing so well intermittent fasting. Again, wasn't losing weight. And I thought I was doing well when I switched to carnivore. Didn't lose the weight for a while, but then I started losing the weight. But I don't know. It's like it just goes, my ceiling raises with each thing. So it's hard to say when I felt the switch. So the most recent switch I felt was when I started doing the 42-hour fasting. And then it was up a notch further than I ever thought I could go before. But every single stage, I was feeling pretty good within a few weeks. There was a switch, not necessarily the switch. I don't know.
Okay, I accept your answer. I have nothing else to say.
You have nothing else?
No.
That's it?
I've run out of words. I'm very thirsty.
Let's do this one, though, since we are getting near the holidays. And we will be traveling.
Which one is it?
Anyone doing carnivore while traveling? How's it going?
Well, Charlie just did it.
Charlie just did it. That's true. He went to the barbecue joint.
And he did it. Sounds like very successfully.
Yes.
We have a trip coming up in middle of July, and I don't plan to have a single crumb of bread or lick of ice cream.
Wedding cake.
I'm not eating any wedding cake.
You didn't eat wedding cake ever.
I don't. I mean, it was one of those things I would eat because it was sweet, but it was never chocolate with chocolate frosting, which is all I'd wanted. And yes, I would eat it with chocolate icing too. But yeah, I'm not having wedding cake, and I'm not. I don't drink, so I'm obviously not having champagne. I'm not eating their salad. I'm going to eat whatever meat is available, and it's probably going to be a chicken breast.
As I've mentioned, probably. But as I've mentioned a million times, I went gluten-free 13 years ago, 14 years ago, somewhere in there. And that was hard, especially at that time. And so it was just until last year that I had to travel by myself. And we weren't going on a Disney thing where I could get what I wanted. And I was like, oh no. I've got to make sure, where are the restaurants I can eat at around my hotel? Because that's my frame of mind from being gluten-free for all these years. And then I realized there's a burger joint on every corner. And if it's McDonald's, that's fine. So traveling and eating this way is easier for me than it was when I was just gluten-free.
Interesting.
Because I wouldn't stop and get burger patties anywhere. Like that wouldn't have been, although I did usually, it was salad when I was traveling. Gluten-free, it was usually salad and burger patties anyway. Like that was it. But now I would have never considered going to McDonald's and getting a burger patty. Like that wouldn't have crossed my mind. Now I'm like, great.
So are you saying that maybe we should stop and get some bag of burger patties before we go to the wedding reception?
Well, we certainly can. Yeah.
No, to take in there with us?
No, I wouldn't take it in.
Can you imagine sitting there eating and you're pulling out cold burger
but
patties?
The wedding doesn't even start till 4:30 p.m.
Yeah.
We're done eating.
That's true.
By then, usually.
And JJ, we can always have our carnivore bars with us.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. So Yeah, it's just traveling has actually gotten easier since I've been carnivore. And I don't think this wedding's going to be much of a problem.
I love how you said this wedding. I'm looking forward to the wedding.
Oh, I am. Yeah, I am. But yeah, I'm sure we'll have our little, that's so funny too. I love, like, these are family members that totally support our carnivore lifestyle and try to do what they can for us. And it's just so cute when you get that little 4-ounce piece of meat. It's like, oh, honey, you don't know what it's like when you're only eating meat and not everything else.
Yeah,
4 ounces.
I need a few more of those. It's like at Olive Garden where we got the sirloin, and it's like somebody ordered the sirloin, and they're like digging in the back of the feet. They're like, oh man, I didn't even know that was on the menu. Wait, I found one. Oh no,
I found one. Let's cut it in half.
What's the date? Don't look. Don't look. Don't know. I'm gonna get a headache.
So anyway, by the time the wedding rolls around, we will actually probably have eaten.
True. Jody just turned 68, and I take a lot of naps. Well, the naps can be I don't need them that frequently, but when I need them, I take them.
Yeah.
Bumbleberry's here.
Hey.
Late, but arrived. We'll allow it. Jody says, I try to sprint, but my dogs get in my way.
Oh.
That's dangerous. If you're sprinting and the dog trips you up, you'd Superman.
Didn't you think our dog would like that? But he doesn't.
He doesn't recognize the fact that I'm running. For him, it's like the same slow motion guy, just moving his arms. And he's like, and I'm going as hard as I can.
Oh.
And I watched the video back and I'm like, when is the sprint? Oh, wow. Bumbleberry, I'm reading about circadian rhythms right now. I'm working on sleep as well.
Eric tried everything. And so it probably all does stack.
Yeah, of course.
And it was really moving that eating window that finally, after decades, moved the needle the most. It's incredible.
I should be doing better getting my morning sunlight. But this morning I was up before the sun, and then I was busy when it came up and forgot. But we do get the sunset almost every night.
Yeah.
There's an August 30th Kalamazoo meetup featuring Drs. Kiltz and Hampton. Hopefully I'll see you and the others there.
Dr. Hampton, too. Huh.
I
don't know.
We'll have to eyeball that.
Yeah. By Carnivorous Grandma. It's hosted by Carnivorous Grandma.
I see. 3-hour workout. Must have a protein drink before it. That's a long workout.
That is a long workout. Wow.
But if that includes like warm up and stretching and mobility and cool down, well, then maybe I can get behind that. Hopefully I can drive by then. I would love to drive down to Kalamazoo from Grand Rapids, not on a motorcycle. Does McDonald's use seed oils on their grill?
Supposedly no. And that's all I can say. Supposedly no.
I deferred to a video that Carrie and family did where they taste tested every single burger, and he disqualified one of them because of that fact.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he said he asked them specifically what oils they used, and McDonald's passed. I think McDonald's might have even won the taste test.
Yeah.
But I almost think it was Wendy's that got disqualified.
I think it was Wendy's too.
And they should be disqualified for the shape of their burger.
Well, does a square burger taste any different?
Well, you may know of someone else in our family who has opinions about the shape of the food.
That's true.
And will not eat it if it's the wrong shape.
That is true.
Mostly weight room, some zone 2
Ah.
cardio. Yep.
And mat work.
Oh, here Carnivore Chan says McDonald's doesn't use any seed oils on their cooktop. That's what we needed to know. 6-ounce sirloin is an appetizer steak. Yeah, I was like, isn't this the type of thing you serve on a toothpick at a party? Oh, never motorcycling again.
Yeah.
I think that's probably a good decision.
Yep.
It's probably. I'm not saying no one should ever motorcycle, but I'm saying no one probably should ever motorcycle. I think that's it.
I think that's it.
Yeah. We're tapped out.
We're tapped out, and our daughter is home from work, so we can hear. It was her first day back after her semester, her term, and get to hear about her day.
Yep.
So that'll be nice.
So thank you so much for joining us. Every day stronger.
Every day more.
JJ and Eric, their lipids are high. Their doctors are worried they're both gonna die. Is LDL harmless? They sure hope it's so. It's the JJ and Eric Carnivore Show. Salad is toxic, seed oils are doom. They rub on tallow like greasy perfume. Ribeyes and bacon, that's all they know. It's the JJ and Eric Carnivore Show. No wheat, no kale, they're laughing at greens. 18-hour fasts are their favorite routines. Sugars for suckers, they're chomping on fat. Streaming to you live from the tallow vat. Eric's got muscles, JJ's got zen. They're coming to chat with their carnivore friends. So toss out the lettuce, embrace the beef glow. It's the JJ and Eric